The big change in the Fed, has that changed your world? The Fed that was, some might say, too gung-ho late last year is now more circumspect. But has that changed anything fundamentally?
I think it reinforces the structural reality that this world or central bank dominated world is going to continue. I think there was this hope, I would like to say, for a lack of a better word, that we are entering this exit cycle and this era of very easy policy, monetary policy is going to be over. But it doesn't seem like that anyways to the market, and now the Fed is also on the seat saying yes, probably it's not going to happen.
But what it has done, it's created volatility in the market. It's created noise, and we keep hearing this word noise. I mean, look, God knows I make enough of it, but it's kind of my job to do so. But it's not the job of the FOMC to make noise. It's their job to assure people that they know what they're doing and control various aspects, including stability and including the inflation rate as well. Have they created part of the problem that has been exacerbated this market, so it's creating so many issues for Deutsche, for JP Morgan, for Morgan Stanley, for all the others this year? And for you?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think they have contributed, I would say, unintendedly into complicating the situation. This dot plot idea was a very silly idea. It seems like, with the benefit of a hindsight, although the market saw that, because the Federal Reserve is not a democracy. There is no one vote, one person thing. So it was communication confusion. And what is happening with ECB, what is happening with BOJ, it tells you that the Fed is no longer the independent central bank. It's very difficult to run independent monetary policy now. And what it does really mean for investment portfolios is, or investment ideas is, that we have to always take into account the possibility that if the central bank is keeping these rates very low, what does that mean to our valuation of these asset classes?
Esther George was the dissenter in this meeting, and if you recall what she said back in February, that policy cannot change in response to every rough patch in financial markets. Is that what the Fed's doing here? They're responding to market volatility. They're getting into the mix on these market gyrations when in fact perhaps they should step back, like Esther George is calling for.
And the thing is that the problem is that if they don't, and if there's a recession in the US, it's the Federal Reserve which will get blamed for it. So there is a political angle to central banking now, which was not present previously, and we should not underestimate that. And the second one is that as long as fiscal policy is not available, the central banks will look at the range of tools they have on the table, and then they will use that, which is more easier for monetary policy in order to stimulate growth and inflation.
We've had a conversation this week from a former Fed worker who said they have no more data at their disposal from what we have, and Yellen's comments yesterday about the fact that inflation may not be showing any firming up just yet, that they're looking for more concrete evidence. Do you think that's what we're dealing with globally? We're just not getting any concrete evidence that inflation's coming through the system, despite the fact oil prices have lifted off a base and food prices in some part of the world are also increasing. We still haven't got confirmation that that stability is going to stay here.
I totally agree with that. I think oil prices only made a bad situation worse. If you look at the core inflation across the globe, including in the US, it has been anemic. And in a world where there has been more leveraging or more debt accumulation after the crisis, and and households, the financial sector, and everybody is over-levered. There is a demand of credit issue, and then there is a supply of credit issue because of regulations. So I'm not quite sure where we're going to get the inflation from.